That's your local weather on the 8th. Your Monday is amazing because it's Monday, May 4th. You know, May the 4th be with you. And here's our headlines this morning. Dangerous surf. Heads up, surf's up, California. Huge waves, fierce rip currents, slam Southern California. We got 14-foot high waves, forcing even cruise ships to find safer ports. And lifeguards are rescuing dozens. It's a rough week, and we're going to get you alerted on it. Hey, severe alert. Take a live look, Indy, this morning. You're part of the problem here today with these thunderstorms and severe weather every day this week from the Midwest into the plains. Find out what day you're a part of it today and some weather warnings. When were they given? That's the question this morning. It's a Weather Channel investigation into that deadly boating race in Alabama. You know, we want you to enjoy your time outside and be safe, so we will always follow up these situations, and we won't leave till we get the answers. Dave Malkoff has a great story, Jim. Great story.
He does, and maybe the question should be like, when were we not given those, or why were we not given those warnings? Guys, we're going to talk about severe. Sam just mentioned Indianapolis. We've got a line of storms moving through. We've got an old front through here. Just how bad is it going to be? When I can come to you, especially on May 4th, I like that May the 4th be with you. That's really good. And say, look, I don't see outbreak in the foreseeable future. Maybe by the time we get in toward the weekend, that's a good thing because May is the biggest month for tornadoes. Either way, there will be some tornadoes, at least a chance of them as we go on through the entire week. Here's Indianapolis, looking at the rain coming on toward the east, and there is lightning with that. Sometimes you don't need a warning out here to have some problems with the lightning. So we need to keep an eye on these storms as they move on toward the east. You're out running, out playing a little tennis this morning. It's warm, it's mild. You think, oh, I got the day off. Let's do it. But keep an eye out. Again, let the storms pass before you get outside. Lightning can be of gust of wind that you could ever face, especially if you get struck by it. Rain's south of Chicago, at least for the time being. So we're watching this all work its way across the farmland of Indiana right now and in central Illinois, which is just great. Big Corn Belt area in through here. I-65 camera, we got one. Let's go ahead and show it, everybody, what's going on this morning. There it is, wet roads, no question about it. So if you're driving in and around, let's see, south of Gary, Indiana, that's what you're going to be dealing with there. My monitor is about 8. It's about as big as your iPhone. Okay, just so you know, I had to walk off set and walk up to the picture to see that. I didn't just look up. All right, again, Kansas City, maybe a little light shower coming your way. Omaha as well. We watched those storms really vigorous this morning, worked their way off toward the southeast. Again, just a lot of ancillary things into here, just kind of driving along the old front and our jet stream, which is pretty much right in this area as well. So jets here, old front is around. We've got plenty of mechanisms to keep the showers and storms going, but nothing, no big forcing, no big deep layer shear here today, and that's the good news. But a steady serving of south wind means moisture, and it means action along that front, especially at the time of heating. Even with some cloud cover, all you need is an hour or two just to help create a little bit more instability along that front. The convergence is already there, so the heating's just going to help increase all that. And there you see it even by 9 o'clock tonight. So everybody gets a chance at rain. Des Moines, Chicago, you should get it during the overnight hours. All right, how about this, Phoenix? Wet weather just moving through you. We've had anywhere from a quarter to a half inch of rain. That's kind of a nice, pleasant surprise. We're not really into the monsoon flow yet, so nice to get a little bit of rain falling through here, just greening things up in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. I can't wait to I'm going to Sedona in June, Sam. I'm so stoked about it. I cannot wait to go out there. It's just absolutely beautiful country. Warm, moist air coming across the plain states as we work our way through today. We will see those storms fire. There's also a little splitting with the jet streams. Remember, we got the subtropical jet down to the south, that weaker southern split right here. Where that air splits, we call that diffluence. But if you're taking away mass in one spot, you want to typically replace it to keep everything at equilibrium. So you're going to take away mass aloft, you're going to allow air to converge at the surface. That weak upslope flow, dry line, all that'll add to thunderstorms today. Primary risk, Sam, will be hail and high winds across South Texas today.
All right, I look for that in June. Jim's every morning report from Sedona. Of course you'll be waking up and reporting live. Hey,
you know me.
Temperature is another big story this morning. We've got a lot of warm air that's made the move finally. Remember last week we were talking about follow the warm bubble? Well, it made it to the East Coast. More than 1,800 miles from Nebraska to northern Maine. We'll see temperatures 10 to 20 degrees above the normal mark. St. Louis, you're feeling it today. High of 86 degrees, St. Louis. Hey, that's more than than 10 degrees warmer than you're used to for this time of year. And if you want to know how long it's going to last, stays that way all week. Boston, our forecast high today. Jim, will we do it? Will we do it? 79 degrees is the forecast.
We'll finally get there.
Will we get to 80 degrees today? Hey, we didn't even make the 70 mark on Sunday, and we were really feeling good about your chance. So if you get to 80 today, you'll go through 70 on your way to it, and it'll be the first time since October 15th. But
this is the average date for 80 in
right,
Boston.
this is your right on target for today, getting 80 degrees.
May the 4th be with you.
Yeah, May the 4th be with you. All right, warm, dry days, a welcome change in the Northeast this time of year. Now, there's a problem. Fire danger. Our Reagan Medji is in Brigantine, New Jersey. And while Reagan's along the coast, and a lot of the issue is going to be inland, it's that dry, warm breeze that's going to be the issue. Right, Reagan?
There are a couple people out here in Brigantine, New Jersey, enjoying the summer-like temperatures for the week ahead. In fact, some people to the right of me over here are paddle boarding. And of course, you can see that they're wearing wetsuits because the ocean is still a little bit too cold to go bare, but they seem like they're having a good time. So the temperatures throughout the week here in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and then in the northeast section of the country, we're looking at 10 to 20 degrees above average. But today, there's a high risk of fire danger. That means that with high winds and low humidity is a recipe for disaster. In fact, earlier today, there was a brush fire in Burlington County, New Jersey, just outside of Philadelphia, and the fire is contained 4 acres, no injuries. So, of course, do not burn anything outside because once those winds kick up, they can carry the flames. But when we come back to the Jersey Shore, it's a beautiful day, and if I don't say so myself, here, we're as happy as a clam. Guys, back to you.
Come on, Reagan. I love it. It is so beautiful. That's one of the most beautiful spots on the Jersey Shore. If you haven't been, go. Hey, Northeast, let's get you caught up on how many days you'll get of this warm, beautiful air.
Hey, did you know today is National Observers Day?
Observers Day? What does that mean? Weather
Observers Day. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just assumed you would assume that it was weather. Not just any type of observer.
I can't.
Yes.
Thing to do.
I sent out a tweet on it, okay, guys?
All right, okay.
So thank you for everything you do. You do so much for us. For looking at the forecast today, the last time we saw 70 degrees, well, it's been a long time, back in October. But today, we're going to get very close to 80 degrees. As Jim said earlier, may the 4th be with you. He stole our thunder. You guys are just stealing everything from us today. Looking ahead for Buffalo, today high of 71 degrees, or I should say we're starting off at 71 degrees, and then through the afternoon, we're going to see the 80s coming. For Buffalo, looks like 76 degrees at 3 o'clock, 83 degrees New York, Boston. We're going with 79, but you won't be mad if we're wrong about that, will you, if you get to 80 degrees. Today, jet stream all the way up towards the north. Let's move that ahead and show you what we have in control is ridge of high pressure. The warm and humid air is eventually going to be making its way to the north, but not us today. We're going to be nice and comfortable out there. Temperatures running 10 to 20 degrees above average. Midwest, Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, all these areas. Boston, your average high should actually be 62 degrees today. You're smashing that. Well, the mountains and the Midwest, good morning to all of you. We'll be right back.
Make the journey as extraordinary as the destination. The exquisitely designed Lexus ES and ES Hybrid. Unforgettable. Get 0.9% financing on the 2015 ES 350. See your Lexus dealer.
Hey, Hunter, need some pointers?
Just around the house.
Yeah, should do it then.
I love this free store pickup.
Yeah, it's also great when you're on tour. Just order online, we'll have it waiting for you the same day. You know, I bet there's an Ace within a golf swing at just about anywhere.
Really?
Oh, you don't need to...
New mailboxes.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Getting help at Ace is like going to your neighbor.
Drive safely, Hunter.
Thanks again, Mike.
It's here. New Fancy Feast broths with chicken. Silky smooth or creamy broths. Now with the real chicken she loves. Never any byproducts or fillers. Being a cat just got more enjoyable. Fancy Feast broths with chicken.
We know you can't control the weather, so we build things to harness it.
This is about how far you can push yourself.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, mostly cloudy, high 79. Winds east-northeast at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, late-night thunderstorms, low 73. Chance of rain, 40%. Tuesday, thunderstorms likely, high 77. Chance of rain, 90%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. We love to see your pictures. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well right here on AMHQ.
1 can of Bush's beans. Home style sounds good, but country style not without its charms. Brown sugar hickory. Who says no to hickory? New sweet heat? Sure. There are no rules here.
Bush's beans. What's your favorite flavor? According to the U.S. Department of Energy, most homes have air leaks and drafts that waste so much energy, it's like leaving a window open in your home all year long. Don't let another year go by. Call Champion Windows at 844-4CHAMPION. And right now, you can get 25% off of new windows for your home. Plus, Champion now offers no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. So call 844-4CHAMPION today, because every home needs a champion.
Fact. When pharmacists are in pain, the medicine in Advil is their #1 choice for pain relief. More than the medicines in Tylenol or Aleve. Use the medicine that pharmacists use most for themselves. Relief doesn't get any better than this. Advil.
10 minutes after the hour on a Monday right here. Let's get caffeinated. Let's get a little altitude. We'll go to Denver. Currently 49 degrees, a little bit of cloudy. You'll be lucky if you get into the 60s today. Colorado facing the threat of some severe weather later today. We've put you in line for that possibility. So let's talk about it. Possible record rainfall with some unsettled weather for the next several days. Hey, when we want a little altitude, we go to KUSA's Danielle Grant. Hey, Danielle, good morning. How are you in Denver this morning?
Hi, good morning, Sam. We're doing well. However, you can see behind me, the clouds have started to really press into the city. We're also looking at a little bit of patchy fog this morning, so that's kind of slowed folks down. Had a little bit of light rain early on, but we're gearing up for another round that's supposed to move in later this afternoon and just kind of continue for the next couple of days.
Yeah, it's going to, how do you get people ready for spring, when you got those gray skies and everybody else is talking about those luscious 80-degree temperatures on the East Coast?
Don't make us jealous around here. You're used to, seeing the 300 days of sunshine here in Denver.
That's true. So
this isn't quite what we're used to. But, and we will keep a close eye on the threat for seeing those thunderstorms this afternoon. I think we have a really good chance at seeing them tomorrow. Tomorrow, it looks like temperatures are going to be in the upper 50s if we're lucky, and then kind of warm up on Wednesday. But, May is our wettest month here in Denver. Yeah. So we're ready.
Yeah.
We're used to it. Just wait till July and August when it will be picture perfect and dry here. We won't have humidity.
You have your time coming too, Danielle, and you guys got to get that rain storage in as well right now. Danielle Grant from KUSA, thank you so much, because I watch you, lady, when you're on TV, it is great quality weather. So thank you for coming in and spending some time with us this morning. Hey, in the Midwest, you're going to be feeling those temperatures already 5 to 20 degrees above average this week. If we could get a little sunshine in Chicago, Jen, I'd be a little happier, but...
You would be appreciative.
I would.
But then if they don't get the sunshine, they know who to blame.
Oh,
Sam
nice.
Champion's coming to town, and he's going to make it rain. Yes, that's what Sam's going to be doing.
Nice.
Well,
thanks, Jen.
Chicago, sorry, Sam, I'm just telling the truth. We are forecasting a high today of 74 degrees at Midway. Now, you could actually see the first 80-degree day on Thursday, but it's a little late. Your average first 80 comes right around April 23rd. But who's counting, right? Everybody in Chicago. Showing you right now, you're waking up to a few clouds out there. As we move that ahead, and we want to talk more about the forecast across parts of the Midwest. As Sam says, temperatures 10 to 20 degrees above average. Today, 76 degrees. You should be at 66. Tomorrow, you're going to be cooler out there. We have the showers and thunderstorms. That's going to be cooling you off. But notice as we go Wednesday, as well as into Thursday and Friday, here come the 80s. That's nearly 20 degrees above average. So you have something to look forward to with those temperatures really starting to peak above average. Jet stream to the north. We know that. This means we're going to be looking at really just that warm air just really locking into place. nice little southerly flow happening. As we show you, the temperatures aren't just warm in the Midwest. We're also talking for parts of the Ohio Valley, as well as the Northeast, New England. You're looking at temperatures spectacular today. Starting off right now in the 50s and the 60s, a nice mild start to the afternoon. But as we go throughout the day, you can see those winds just really coming in from the south. St. Louis, you're going to be looking at extremely warm temperatures. Chicago as well. But notice you got that onshore flow today. As we go through about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, we're going to start to see some of those showers and thunderstorms popping up. And that's why we're going to be looking at those cooler temperatures there. But still, you're running 7 degrees above average. Louisville, 85 for you. I mean, how wonderful was the weather this weekend for the Kentucky Derby? And as we look for Detroit, you're going to see your warmer temperatures coming on Friday with a high of 84 degrees. So one day after Chicago, and then you drop it down to the 70s. Your average high should actually be 66 degrees. So what you're doing right now is showing off your above average as we go through the next couple days.
Show it off.
Show it off.
Might as well, if you got it, you might as well show it off. All right, this time of year, we're usually not looking into the waters to look for anything tropical developing. But Jim Cantore and Michael Lowry see something right now that we want you to know about as you're waking up this morning. Morning, guys.
Happy Friday with this.
Hurry! There's a hot offer for heartburn sufferers. Now try Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com. Hurry! It's free this week only. No pill relieves heartburn faster. Get Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com.
Doers. They don't worry if something's possible. They just do it. At Sears Optical, we're committed to bringing them eyewear that works as hard as they do. Right now, save up to $200 on eyeglasses. Quality eyewear for doers. Sears Optical.
The termite swarm has come. Enter the legions of Terminex with 85 years of experience and the strongest guarantee in the business. Sorry, termites, we got our swarm of our own. Not here, not now, not in my house. Terminex.
We could tell you about the years of research and development. How we forged advanced high-strength steel to make the frame stronger yet lighter. The countless hours spent testing the suspension and tuning every sound from the engine to the trunk. But until you get behind the wheel, you have no idea. The completely redesigned Hyundai Sonata.
Once we were dreamers, adventurers set out to discover new lands, new people, new ways. Once we were great explorers in search of hidden treasure, secret hideouts, magic lands. The treasure is still here and waiting to inspire a new generation of dreamers. Come uncover the riches and bounty of pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
So we build things to harness it.
This is about how far you can push yourself.
When it comes to Medicare, everyone talks about what happens when you turn 65. But really, it's what you do before that counts. See, Medicare doesn't cover everything, only about 80% of Part B medical costs. The rest is on you.
Consider an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare Supplement Insurance plans, it could really save you in out-of-pocket medical costs. So call now and request this free decision guide. Discover how an AARP Medicare Supplement plan could go long for you.
You want to choose your doctors. Avoid networks. What about referrals?
All plans like these let you visit any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare patients, with no networks and virtually no referrals needed. So call now, request your free guide, and explore the range of AARP Medicare supplement plans.
65 may get all the attention, but now is a good time to start thinking about how you want things to be.
Go long.
The Weather Channel's most watched original program,
and it just hit us,
is back.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
Stay tuned for your Local on the 8s, brought to you by Allstate. Are you in good hands?
Remember when you said men are superior drivers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then how'd I get this
Allstate Safe Driving Bonus Check.
Who's that?
So weird, right? My agent Tom said,
Only Allstate sends you a bonus check for every 6 months you're accident-free.
but I'm a woman. Maybe it's a misprint. Does it look like a misprint?
Okay, let's try. Silence. Ask an Allstate agent about the safe driving bonus check. Are you in good hands?
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, cloudy and windy, high 79. Winds east-northeast at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, late-night thunderstorms, low 73. Chance of rain, 40%. Tuesday, thunderstorms, high 77. Chance of rain, 90%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
All right, so good morning to the folks in Miami as we are now under a high risk for rip currents there. And you can see the waves certainly coming in. We've got east wind, pretty decent fetch actually coming into the East Coast. So that's pushing all that water in. And of course, what comes in must go out. So as that water goes out, you can develop these channels of a very, very high water return to the ocean and unfortunately rip currents. Michael Lowry, our hurricane specialist, joins me now to talk about what will happen post or actually during this whole rip current thing. And basically we've got a high to the north, a lower pressure to the south, maybe eventually developing low pressure in this area.
And that easterly flow.
Outlined by the hurricane.
Hey, it doesn't take big waves to cause rip currents. 2-3 foot waves are enough to cause high rip currents.
It's just a large volume of water coming in. It doesn't necessarily have to do with the height of the waves.
It's this idea that we have to have a big coastal storm to have rip currents. We're already seeing rip currents, and that's because the winds are pretty strong out of the east, which is typical there for South Florida. A lot of moisture down here, Jim, and that front, you and I were looking earlier, it's sort of becoming more and more diffuse. It's washing out right now, and behind it, it's leaving this.
Does it look like something's trying to get organized, maybe south of Cuba now, or?
Not really.
It's just a cluster of thunderstorms.
Just a cluster of thunderstorms with that, you were showing that earlier, that big dip in the jet stream that's helping the upper level diffluence is helping to fan out and produce some of those thunderstorms. All of that is going to start lifting up tomorrow into Wednesday off of Florida, and maybe bringing some that enhanced rainfall over southeast Florida tomorrow into Wednesday.
Which would be good. We got a little drought down there.
And then really Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is when things get a little more interesting in terms of the potential of this developing. We were saying, though, you could take this medallion of low pressure and just expand it out because it's not going to be a focused area of rainfall and winds. It's going to be a very...
At least initially.
Initially, right. Now, if it did get enough energy going, if it got enough of that moisture from the lower levels, warmed up the mid levels, and now you're starting to look a little more tropical, then you could maybe focus some of those impacts.
And it is going to spend some time over the Gulf Stream here. Yeah. We're mid to upper 70s. So.
Well, and that really is, at the end of the day, that's the concern, is that it's not going to move. So not going to move means two things, right? Is it has the potential of developing further, and then it could bring just an increase in prolonged risk of rip currents and rainfall to the Carolinas.
Big nuisance here. Florida up through the Outer Banks of North Carolina, which we saw even with a coastal low brushing on by, has caused some damage there on Highway 12. So there's that beautiful shot, actually, of the Gulf Stream.
Yeah,
and you can see a few of those orange areas, which are 80 plus.
We have that easterly flow right now over Florida. That's going to turn to easterly across the Carolinas come Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you have beach plans, you're just stay out of the water. I can tell you that already.
What about rainfall here? Is it just too early to tell how this thing sets up?
Yeah.
We'll have dry air on the west side, warm, moist air on the east side.
It's too early to say whether or not it's going to look more like a comma. It's going to kind of resemble this, but this could get a little pivoted or tilted a little this way. So it's just hard to say exactly where that rainfall is going to be, but really anywhere here along the coast.
And really where this goes all depends on what's happening with a western trough, isn't it? Eventually.
Yeah.
So everything will play off that downstream.
We're going to talk more about that. tomorrow.
Over the next couple of days. Well, and that's the thing, Sam. We'll have plenty of days to talk about this before we even get the entity itself. So keep an eye out, certainly if you're heading to the southeast coast. Back to you.
Yeah, and I remember forecasting for Jacksonville, guys, that the more you see something sit like that in that area, the better and better and better a chance of some kind of development there. So it's one of those things you just want it to kick out. And if it stays, we're going to watch it. A-Rod, a lot of images coming in from folks.
Especially from the northeast. We are following that warm and that dry pattern, no humidity. We have fire danger across 6 northeastern states. And in Somerville, New York, this is in Sullivan County, firefighters there are trying to put out this major forest fire that has already burned 30 acres.
And today we have red flag warnings across parts of New England. No burning out there. It's very dry, and you know, with those winds gusting up to 30 miles per hour later on, that could cause it to spread very quickly.
And as Sam said, you know, this is the day you may want to be tempted to clean your yard and burn whatever debris is there, but don't do it. We're also following the rip current risk in Florida. We got some pictures from Ed the Clam. Keep sending us those pictures.
Ed the Clam.
Hashtag my weather at AMHQ. It's an interesting Twitter account. You should follow it.
Ed the Clam.
So, what brings you to Jersey?
Well, Geico's the #1 auto insurer in New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut. So I just came by to say thanks.
#1, huh? That's great.
Here you go. A little token of appreciation.
Oh, that's great.
Now, I'd say you probably need a large.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Jackie's heart attack didn't come with a warning. Today, her doctor has her on a Bayer aspirin regimen to help reduce the risk of another one. If you've had a heart attack, be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
So großartige Autos werden nur in Deutschland gebaut. So großartige Autos werden nur in Deutschland gebaut. So großartige Autos werden nur in Deutschland gebaut. Ach, verdammt! I said it 3 times and it's still not true.
Performance is now an American thing. Introducing the all-new Chrysler 200. America's import. Find it at Chrysler.com.
When you're waiting for summer, every second feels like an eternity. So when it finally arrives, make every second count on a Sea-Doo watercraft. With 14 models to choose from and starting at just $49.99, there's a Sea-Doo that's right for you. At the Countdown to Summer sales event, get up to a 5-year warranty or save up to $1,000. But hurry, this offer ends May 31st. Go to Sea-Doo.com or your local dealer for details.
Let's do this. We start here, talk to her, pick up some of that, a few of those. Okay, a lot of those. Then dirt, plants, water, just a little time, and then boom. Spring. Big time. Let's do this. Plant color everywhere. 1 quart Vigoril annuals now 4 for just $10. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Hey ladies, you love it. You gotta have it. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, because that cinnamon and sugar is so irresistible. Everybody craves those crazy squares.
The FDA issued a public notice to doctors and patients concerning serious injuries caused by transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, and bladder sling. Please call now if you had one of these devices implanted in the last 5 years. You may be entitled to a cash award. If you had a transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, or bladder sling in the last 5 years,
please call 1-866-686-7952 now.
Weather. So we build things to harness it.
This is about how far you can push yourself.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, cloudy and windy, high 79. Winds east-northeast at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, late night thunderstorms. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Tuesday, thunderstorms. High 77. Chance of rain 90%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Weather Channel's most watched original program,
and it just hit us,
is back.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
Well, hello.
Good morning.
29 minutes past the hour.
I guess I was
waiting on you, Sam.
Don't worry about me.
We're always waiting for our fearless leader here on this Monday.
It's Monday.
He was on a break right then, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at the forecast for Palm Springs.
68 degrees right now, but yesterday.
Yes, we had some incredible video coming to us of a dust devil in Palm Springs, California. Listen to this. And
oh my God.
Is that clockwise?
It did look like it was actually.
It is clockwise.
Yeah, it is
All right,
clockwise.
so this is great because I mean, you know, like you have in a tornado around the vortex, the debris is centrifuged out. So that initial shot there was pretty cool.
Yeah, and this actually damaged a market.
It is definitely going. It's definitely.
It is clockwise, isn't it?
It sure is.
And this actually damaged the market and a few cars there. Of course, you know, this, as you said, mimics a tornado in the air, heats up, it rises, and that circulation gets tighter, and it starts kicking out that debris there.
See, look at that. There it goes up.
Look at the
this is
palm
a
trees.
great example of what happens with the debris. Just centrifuges it out like that. I mean, that's... hopefully nobody's hurt, right?
Just like what he told the kids last week.
You got to hope that nobody was caught up in any of that. Palm Springs, 9 a.m. all the way to 9 p.m. Your forecast, because you can count on us. 69 degrees. We're going to 88 today, 89 as well, probably before we cap off the heating of the day. And then you'll start to trail down at 9 p.m. We'll also put some clouds in the sky there.
All right. We're going to talk more about severe weather chances out. We're going to go to Jim Quintero.
And we've got them, Jim.
Do you really think centrifuges is too big for the kids?
Well, I think it was one of those words that you used last week with the kids.
Yeah,
remember when he's like kids?
They were
fifth graders.
They were third graders.
They were like 6.
Let's not rank them up. They were third graders.
You see the kind of support I get here. Jim, thanks for coming to the show. But we're going to beat you, man.
We love you.
All right, let's talk about what we got going on. We always talk about how when the moisture comes together with the jet stream energy, we can get some action. Well, as you can see, the moisture is a little decoupled from the jet stream energy up to the north of here. But that doesn't mean we're going to get nothing, because we have a front. We've got heating from the sun. It's May. There's going to be showers and thunderstorms. It's kind of interesting. I was just looking at the Storm Prediction Center's outlook for the day, and what they do now is remove the 2% tornado risk from Kansas, and they put it down into West Texas and eastern New Mexico there. So that ought to be interesting. We could get a nice lead tornado there, but I think we're going to get some big hail, certainly by given the heat and even the humidity down there. So what's going to go on as we go toward Wednesday? So Wednesday, look at what happens with our jet stream. It starts to dive a little bit and become much more of a player out here in the plain states. So here's a little wave along moving through the jet. We call these short waves. And depending on where this is, will depend on where the severe weather is, I think. You know, you're going to have a front here, an old front of some sort. But certainly, you know, if this wave just rolls through here quickly, we're going to be on the sinking side of this particular short wave. And that usually doesn't bode well for severe. But then we wait for this. This will be the big show coming up over the weekend. And there it is, big bowling ball here. And you know what? What's happening right out here, and this is what Lowry and I were talking about, will make all the difference in the world as to what eventually happens with our low in the southeast, because it'll be steered by the opposing ridge from that trough. Believe it or not, everything's all connected out there. So Saturday, look at that. You've got a trough. At least this is what the model's showing at this point. A full body low coming right out with that trough. And this could mean a big couple of days for Saturday and Sunday, possible outbreak days. That's how I would call it right now. So tomorrow, we look into West Texas again along the dry line. Wednesday, depending on where that short wave is, we may have a 4 for central Kansas. Either way, Sam, each day here from North Texas, including Dallas, all the way up into the high plains, we have a good shot at rain. Very beneficial rain for our agricultural belts here.
Needed.
Yeah.
That's a high drought area. All right. Hey, Jim, let's go from there all the way into the Gulf Coast. And the forecast today for Mobile and Mobile Bay, it's gorgeous. It's right now 70 degrees. We're going up to about 80 today, 83 tomorrow. There is 0% chance of rain, and those winds are east winds at about 9 miles per hour. That was not the case 2 weeks ago. And this morning, a Weather Channel investigation. 6 missing sailors, all confirmed dead after a violent storm capsized their boats during a regatta nearly 2 weeks ago. Our Dave Malkoff investigates why they were out in such a fierce storm.
It was a nightmare storm in broad daylight.
Well, clearly from the start of the day, there was a risk of severe weather.
And by the middle of the day, the Coast Guard was pulling some 40 people from the water. 6 of those people, out for a day of boating, never made it back to safe harbor.
We felt each and every prayer, and we know that God's in control, and we're drawing on His strength.
Grief is heavy in Mobile Bay. Many of the Dolphin Island race organized by the Fairhope Yacht Club.
Holy cow.
Michael Connell is one of those racers. His cruising boat almost capsized in near hurricane force winds. Seawater filled his cabin and snapped his main halyard. This is a very heavy rope to snap like that.
Yeah, like a cheap rubber band.
I did talk to the Commodore, kind of like the general manager of the yacht club. He didn't want to go on camera, but he did lay out this timeline for me, saying the night before they did have a discussion about weather, but no discussion about canceling the race. Although in the morning, an erroneous report went out on the website saying the race was canceled. That was a miscommunication. They delayed the race for about an hour. So because of that delay, they actually had some of the racers jump the gun and they had to pull them back to the starting line. Was said and done. It was about 11 o'clock in the morning before anyone started the race.
In fact, we can time out these storms. It looks
just
like
1 hour later, Weather Channel meteorologist Mark Elliott was on the air forecasting the storm as it pushed towards the boaters in Mobile, Alabama.
Getting towards Mobile by 3 or 3:30.
By the time Mike's weather radio was blaring its 3rd warning of the day, it was already too late.
The boat was over. Like if this is level, it was over. Like that.
You know, it was clear as day that was coming.
This wasn't just a thunderstorm. It was something more intense called a derecho.
You cannot sail in a derecho. You cannot sail in a severe thunderstorm.
Now, the U.S. Coast Guard is asking questions. We've obtained an official questionnaire for boaters. Did you or anyone in your vessel hear weather alerts?
By the time that regatta started, they were already in a severe thunderstorm watch.
Was there any discussion to call off the race at the beginning of the day?
No. Not to my knowledge.
As of right now, sources at the Alabama law enforcement agency known as ALEA tell us they are investigating this as 8 separate accidents. Under state law, each skipper is responsible for his own crew's safety. Clearly, not all the boats out there in the storm were racing, but 119 signed up, and ALEA sources confirm all 6 souls lost that day were part of that Dolphin Island race.
It's horrible now. Only thing that counts is your crew's okay.
Mike's really torn up there. When he talks about his crew, he means his son and his grandson there at the helm, and luckily no one was on the bow of this ship, because if someone would have been there, that boom would have come around and they would have been hit by the sail. They would have gone into the sea. It happened to a lot of people, but it didn't happen to them.
Yeah, and there's a certain amount of almost a guarantee that people deserve in this country for prior warning to a weather event. We're good enough at it. We get that warning out. You should feel safe that that warning will get to you. So Weather Channel investigates, and Dave, thank you.
Sure.
We'll always go after the answers, and we just want it to be better for people when they go out to do what they do, Jim, when you're out there, or actually it's Anna Rittis. Anna Rittis has the headline there.
Good morning, Sam. Good morning to you at home. We begin our headlines in the Mid-Atlantic. The city of Baltimore, a city struggling for some degree of normalcy today. The National Guard is pulling out. The curfew has been lifted. Those measures put in place last week after violence broke out over the death of Freddie Gray in police custody. 6 Baltimore police officers are now charged in the case. weeks. In the meantime, overseas relief supplies for Nepal's earthquake victims may be even slower to arrive. Kathmandu is banning big cargo planes. The quake's death now above 7,300.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, cloudy and windy, high 79. Winds east-northeast at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, late-night thunderstorms, low 73. Chance of rain, 40%. Tuesday, thunderstorms, high 77. Chance of rain, 90%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofing Stain. The seal you can trust, with stain and sealer in one, and easy to choose colors. Exceptional beauty and protection have never been easier. Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofing Stain. Available at the Home Depot.
It's a beautiful day to use Thompson's Water Seal.
To feel this special, you need to eat this special. Start your day with 150 nourishing calories in a bowl of Special K. Eat special, feel special.
The ultimate do-over for wood and concrete. Don't replace, resurface. Behr Premium Deck Over, exclusively at the Home Depot.
Can't believe how good these Kevin Durant signature slushes are. Kev, show them how you dunk on a slush.
Yeah.
Waboosh!
Oh, was that it?
You really hang out with this guy?
Waboosh!
Up your game with the new Kevin Durant Signature Candy Slush. This is how you Sonic.
Fact. Advil is not only strong, it's gentle on your body too. No wonder doctors and patients have trusted Advil for their tough pains for over 30 years. Relief doesn't get any better than this. Advil.
When it comes to good nutrition, I'm no expert. That would be my daughter.
Hi, Dad.
She's a dietitian. And back when I wasn't eating right, she got me drinking Boost. It's got a great taste, and it helps give me the nutrition I was missing, helping me stay more like me.
Boost Complete Nutritional Drink has 26 essential vitamins and minerals, including calcium and vitamin D to support strong bones, and 10 grams of protein to help maintain muscle, all with a delicious taste. Grandpa! Stay strong, stay active with Boost.
Start the interview with a firm handshake. I know! Don't do that! Try new Head & Shoulders Instant Relief. It cools on contact and also keeps you 100% flake-free. Try new Head & Shoulders Instant Relief for cooling relief in a snap.
Got those two, couple of these, that's all.
Right now, PetSmart has great deals on select toys and treats you and your kids love. Because pethood's better with a partner.
Unbelievable. Toenail fungus? Seriously?
Smash it with Jublia. Jublia is a prescription medicine proven to treat toenail fungus. Use Jublia as instructed by your doctor.
Look at the footwork.
Most common side effects include ingrown toenail, application site redness, itching, swelling, burning or stinging, blisters, and pain. Smash it!
Make the call and ask your doctor if Jublia is right for you.
New larger size, now available.
New Flonase Allergy Relief Nasal Spray outperforms a leading allergy pill. Most allergy pills only control one substance. Flonase controls 6. So go ahead, inhale life. New Flonase. 6 is greater than 1. This changes everything.
Who says desirable can't also be responsible? With 46 standard safety features, the Lexus RX is proof that fun can be good for you. This is the pursuit of perfection.
And And good Monday morning, 42 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to AMHQ. How about a live look of Portland, Oregon right now? Today we're going to see a high of 76 degrees, showing you the current conditions right now, 47 degrees. Clouds are looking nice, no problems visibility-wise as we go through the next 3 days. Today's a nice day out there, 69 degrees. It's actually been quite warm there. You cool things out on Tuesday and Wednesday, but notice that chance of storms arrives on Tuesday. And now we look at you, Seattle, home of Chris Warren, who's coming up a little bit later on. But Seattle right now, 45 degrees. Notice that the camera's blowing around just a little bit there, with the winds right now at 7 miles per hour. Today, another dry day out there, but just like in Portland, expect to see some storms and cooler temperatures arriving on Tuesday and then Wednesday. A nice day out there, mix of sun and clouds. Hopefully, the sun wins out. Sam.
All right, well, let's turn our eyes just a little further south from the coast from Seattle there, and we'll look at the strong surf that's facing Southern California during the day today. Major cruise lines have to make some major changes. Carnival's Imagination had to move from the ship pier in Long Beach down to San Diego because of this surf on Sunday. Guests who were checking in for that cruise were driven down to San Diego to meet the ship there. CNBC's Crystal Egger is live with us. And Crystal, I guess today these waves are up really high, but on south-facing shores like Malibu, Zuma, you've got the worst waves in those areas.
That's right, down through Newport Beach. But you know what, Sam, temperatures are only in the 60s, so we've cooled down a lot. We have the marine layer out. So it's really going to be the die-hard surfers and bodyboarders who are out there taking advantage of these waves. Dangerous rip currents, what we call sneaker waves, coming up on the rocks and jetties, and minor erosion. Some of the beach water, of course, overlapping and getting close there into Seal Beach. So something we've been talking about all morning.
Yeah.
High surf, but much cooler. Look at these temps.
Look at
68.
That. Good for
you.
you.
Know, high surf last week would have been great. Temps were in the 90s, and everyone, we were all hitting the beach last week. But now we stay below normal for the rest of the week, which is always good. Keeps the fire danger low. That May gray pushes in the low clouds, and also a chance of rain. It's going to be minor. The next 5 days we see at least some showers coming in, mainly on Thursday and Friday. So something to keep an eye on. And we've had a couple of quakes around here as well, Sam, just kind of rattling nerves and keeping you on edge, especially when they strike right in the morning before your alarm clock even goes off. It's like Mother Nature's alarm clocks.
Yeah, I know it's unsettling to kind of get jostled, in the middle of the night and to wake up that way. 3-6, though, is, you pay attention to numbers above 3, right. I'm sure.
Yeah, I tell everybody here on the air, it's considered minor, but as people will say to you, nothing is minor when it scares the crap out of you,
Absolutely.
But it's considered minor and doesn't usually cause any damage. Still alarming.
Well, everybody's talking about it. And Crystal, thank you. I know you got a lot to watch in your skies. Everybody focus on Crystal today on the West Coast. She'll get you through everything you've got to talk about. Hey, when you look at the tornado numbers, Jen, this season, what? Kind of calm, huh?
Yeah, pretty calm out there. But as you all know, when we get into the month of May, we start to see those numbers climbing. But May, on average, of course, it's the peak of the season for the central United States. Meteorologist Chris Warren tells us why.
Joplin, Missouri.
It is a devastating scene. It's just the images go on forever, it seems like.
Moore, Oklahoma.
A rumbling in the ground that just turns your stomach.
Greensburg, Kansas.
They're trying to find a jewelry box that she lost right now.
Not to forget, Moore, Bridge Creek, El Reno, Parkersburg, and more. Recently, most destructive tornadoes have occurred in May. And the largest outbreaks.
May is the prime time for tornadoes for the U.S., with 277 on average over the past 20 years when we've had a stable database.
But we know tornadoes can and do happen in any month. So why is May so special?
May becomes very active because it basically has all the ingredients for a large number of states. In particular, the dry line, that's the west edge of the Gulf of Mexico moisture, becomes very active where it clashes with drier southwest air coming in, and that collision fires up thunderstorms day after day. We have the instability. The warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico can spread all the way from the Gulf of Mexico to the Canadian border at times. And at the same time, we still have the jet stream that's active across the central part of the U.S., and that is fueling the potential for those thunderstorms to rotate, to become supercell thunderstorms that produce tornadoes.
And when we say threat, it's interesting to look at just what that means when it comes to tornadoes. In the month of May, the probability of a tornado is 5 to 6 times more in some states than that of the rest of the country.
You know, I just know that May will ramp up a little bit. We've been quiet. We need people to be thinking about it. Chris Warren.
My budget was always second-guessing me when I'd buy stuff for the family. Fingerhut. 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 At Fingerhut.com, we can shop with low monthly payments. Over 200,000 items and growing from brands like Samsung, Lego, and KitchenAid. Just click on over to Fingerhut.com to get the credit you deserve and great stuff for your family. Oh, not Fingerhut. I got that at a garage sale. For $1.
We have a tornado on the ground. It's moving. We know you can't control the weather. That's looking good. So we build things to harness it. That's awesome.
They hit the water. Game on.
Up here in Southeast Alaska, the Coast Guard's last line up defense.
This is about how far you can push yourself.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, cloudy and windy, high 79. Winds east-northeast at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, late-night thunderstorms, low 73. Chance of rain, 40%. Tuesday, thunderstorms, high 77. Chance of rain, 90%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Next.
Expected wait time, 55 minutes. Your call is important to us. Thank you for your patience.
In the nation, we know how it feels when you aren't treated like a priority. We do things differently.
We'll take care of it.
We put members first.
Thank you.
Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
To you, they're more than just a pet, so protect them with Canine Advantix 2. Its broad-spectrum protection kills fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes, too. Canine Advantix 2, for the love of dog.
Need brakes? Pep Boys has the best brake service at the best price. Right now, get $50 off instantly on our Precision Match brake service with state-of-the-art on-car rotary surfacing exclusively at Pep Boys. Trust the boys to get you there.
How about over there?
What does it mean to have an unlimited mileage warranty on a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz? What does it mean to drive as far as you want for up to 3 years and be covered? It means your odometer is there to record the memories. During the Mercedes-Benz Certified Pre-Owned Sales event now through June 1st, you'll get complimentary prepaid maintenance and receive your first 2 months payments on us, only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer.
Xfinity sales professionals are always on the go, meeting new people every day. They're helping families get the latest Xfinity products and services. And they're making customers happy. Jumpstart your career with the best sales training in the industry. Great benefits like discounts on your own Xfinity services and the potential for high earnings. Have what it takes? Apply today and see what doors open for you.
When we were at Sandals, we forgot about deadlines and worked on our tan lines. We forgot about time and had the time of our lives. We forgot about counting calories and drank to our heart's content. And since everything at Sandals was included, we completely forgot about money and remembered just how in love we really are. Save up to 65%. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
All All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. We love to see your pictures. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well right here on AMHQ. 52 minutes after the hour. Chris and Julie are flying the plane for the rest of the morning. So what happens when you guys take over at the top of the hour?
We're talking Boston, all about Boston, the fact that, you know, it has been almost 7 months since they've seen 70 degrees. Still have not seen 70 degrees.
Still waiting for that 70.
Still waiting for that moment.
But not just 70.
Yeah.
Might be eyeing 80.
Yeah, they catch up real fast, Boston. Don't worry, it's not a problem, right? But they're late on getting their 70, but they're going to be right on time, getting the end.
And it looks like a pretty, overall, few exceptions, but it looks like a pretty nice week for Boston, too, as far as the temperatures go.
All right, we'll talk about the whole East Coast and get you up on that. Hey, severe weather update, that means Jim Cantori. Hey, Jim.
That means we will lock in the East Coast with some pretty nice weather, even the Southeast as well. But stuck to the north, stuck to the middle, we'll have a lot of action going on through for you. You can see the storms that moved out of Illinois and toward Indiana. Will they be heading toward Indianapolis? Let's look at the radar here a little bit closer, and then I'll show you a skyline shot. Oh yeah, we got some storms coming in for Indianapolis, so it almost looks like we've gotten a little bit of an outflow boundary that's come through down and through here. It hasn't yet, so these storms are going to be a little juicier as they come in toward Indianapolis. Let's see what the sky looks like from Indy here. Oh yeah, we can see the clouds coming in, looks like to our west or off to our, let's see, if the sun's on the right side, that means we're looking perhaps off toward the northeast a little bit. Either way, we know it's going to get cloudier from the west because that's where the storms are going to move in from, so keep an eye out, guys, either way. So the front is sitting in through here. It's cloudy, it's unsettled. There's a lot of debris in through here. If we get a break in this and we get enough heating, the shear is weak, but we've got a low torque-on number of 3 today for southeast Nebraska. Texas looks a little bit better off just because we're going to have a lot more instability down through here. We've got the subtropical jet in play as well, so look for storms to really fire here today, and they're going to have some big hail. We're going to see some 3 and 3.5 inch at least hail come out of parts of the Trans-Pecos today. So again, looking at San Angelo in this area and through here, let's go ahead and model this out for you. Not much this morning, but we would expect that, right? There really isn't going to be much action for the Grand Canyon today if you're going to be watching us or heading out there today watching us this morning. Let's see what happens. So deep southeast flow coming in here. Let's model this out in time. Here's 6:30 at night. Here are the storms. They fire. It won't be a big widespread area, but there'll be a few of these. Low chance at a tornado, but better chance at big hail. Then all of this congeals and works its way on into the Texas Panhandle, and eventually potentially a damaging wind threat as all this amalgamates together and makes its way on down. Probably stay west of San Angelo, I think, in terms of what we'll see. So West Texas again tomorrow will be the spot to watch. So it's today, tomorrow. This is where we'll watch the dry line bulge on out. Wednesday, there's a disturbance in the jet stream that comes bulging out and through here. What's interesting is it looks like it may actually shift our severe area a little bit farther to the north, at least the way it looks right now. So there'll be storms on the warm front. There'll be storms on the dry line across parts of Texas and also into Oklahoma. This area will probably be capped, at least initially, but we'll see eventually some storms develop a little bit farther to the south. Either way, 3s and 4s for the central U.S. as we work our way toward the middle of the week. But notice in Texas, western Oklahoma, the Panhandle, across Kansas, Nebraska, up into Minnesota, we've got a few areas here of extreme and exceptional drought. We've also got some moderate drought over many areas. So even if we can get 1 to 2 inches over a widespread area in through here, this is nothing but great news for a very dry part of the country. So guys, again, nothing screams outbreak this week. You don't need an outbreak to have a big tornado. Either way, we head into the weekend, things look a little bit better for organized severe and tornadoes. Sam, back to you.
All right, Jim, you'll want to see some of this stuff that folks have been sending in.
Hashtag Monday Motivation is the hashtag that we're using today. It's trending, and a lot of people have a lot of things to be motivated about. You had beautiful weather over the weekend, and you've been sharing it on social. Let's say good morning to San Francisco.
Hello.
Take a look at this beautiful Instagram video that was shared over the weekend of all the sea lion pups just hanging out over by the pier in San Francisco. Isn't that incredible? The number of stranded pups in this image alone.
Yeah,
right.
Look at that. Yeah.
And, you know, with the temperatures actually being warmer, I mean, this is having a ripple effect. That's why we're seeing so many out there. And we've, you know, Sam and I are pretty passionate about that, too.
Yeah, it's just they don't have enough food out there either. So they're coming in light and underweight. Okay.
Our next picture coming out of Florida. Of course, we're keeping an eye on the rip current risk there. Ed the Clam bringing us the report.
Ed the Clam?
Yes.
Is this his? Okay, Ed the Clam.
This is his Twitter handle, and he says that the waves are churning up, kicking up the surf. It's a very cranky ocean.
Yeah.
And that rip current risk is going to continue throughout the day.
Yeah, we are going to see that. And we'll even looking at the weather going downhill for Florida, for other areas as we watch that low for that tropical development.
Yeah, what's left of it start to crank up and spin north.
And this phenomenon had us just awing this morning. A fire rainbow, which is not a fire nor a rainbow.
Right,
Explain.
it's a circumhorizontal arc, really. It's the same situation that the ice crystals, Jen.
Yeah, and you know what you need are the high, thin clouds out there, and you also want to make sure that the sun has to be at this elevation of 58 degrees. That's what it is. It's spectacular.
It's amazing.
Not to be confused with a sundog.
And it's amazing out there. Weather Center Live is next.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, cloudy and windy, high 79. Winds east-northeast at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, late-night thunderstorms. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Tuesday, thunderstorms. High 77. Chance of rain 90%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This is Weather Center Live. Thanks for joining us today. I'm meteorologist Chris Warren.
And I'm meteorologist Julie Martin. You know, it is the first full week of May, bringing some spring storms and something we just didn't expect to see quite this soon.
A mystery brewing in the Atlantic. A month before the official start of hurricane season, we're tracking what will be a low off the East Coast. We're breaking down the scenarios, including who could face dangerous rip currents.
And day after day of storms. After a break from the severe weather, the threat is back now for hail, wind, even some tornadoes. It's going to last for a few days, so we're going to time that out and keep you prepared.
And a long 6 months. That's how long it's been since Boston had a day with temperatures 70 degrees or warmer. Already 62 degrees. And we are going to see some warm weather hang around in the Northeast. We're going to talk about how long that's going to hang around coming up.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the setup that we are watching here. This area to watch, we're talking about possible development a little bit north of the Bahamas by about midweek, and then what could be something tropical, something subtropical, maybe a combination of both, drifting a little bit farther north along the southeast coast. So Chris, I know you are in the lab now with, or in the SIG rather, with Michael Lowry, our expert, and we are talking about kind of an anomaly here.
Yeah, hurricane specialist Michael Lowry here, keeping an eye on what could potentially happen here in the Atlantic off the southeast coast.
Yeah, it's not all that often that we get a tropical system formed before the official start of the hurricane season, which is still a month away.
But it does happen.
Now. But it does happen. About once every 3 years we'll get something. And we woke up yesterday to this yellow circle that the Hurricane Center had put off the southeast coast of the U.S. Hey, Chris, we're not expecting development anytime in the next 2 days. We're thinking more in the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday time frame that if we were to get something to form, maybe somewhere here, and the problem is it's not going anywhere for a while. It's just going to sit and fester. All coming from this, though. There's a stalled frontal boundary, and it's weakening right now over the Florida Straits and into and over parts of Cuba. That's sort of the focusing mechanism for the showers and the storms. And that trough of low pressure is going to lift up, and that's what's really ultimately going to become that area of low pressure off the southeast.
And is there anything that you can point to see how strong it potentially could be? What are the biggest impacts?
I think, like, at the end of the day, we're going to have an area of low pressure that's off the coast of the U.S. by Thursday and Friday. Whether or not it's a tropical system, whether or not it's a subtropical system.
This is getting technical, right?
It's getting technical, and I don't think it matters so much because we're going to have the impacts. We're going to have the rip currents. We're going to have the rough surf. If you're going to the beach this weekend, You're going to want to stay out of the water, and then the rainfall. It's going to look more like a comma, Chris, than a circle. It's going to be this big rain shield, and I don't know exactly where it's going to set up. It's too early to say, but it really anywhere from the Carolinas down to southeast Georgia and even northeast Florida and Miami, South Florida. You're going to get some rain from this, I think, probably tomorrow into Wednesday.
So regardless of ultimately what happens, there will be enough energy, enough action that there will be impacts.
We'll have something here, yes.
All right, well, there, as you mentioned, there's that rip current risk there. We're dealing with that threat with this Atlantic system. We're going to highlight the areas at greatest risk for rip currents coming up in the next 10 minutes. Julie?
All right, we're also dealing with severe weather this week. So listen to some of this hail from St. Paul, Minnesota. A bow echo hit northern Minneapolis and St. Paul with heavy rain, wind, and half-dollar-sized hail. Columbia Heights recorded a wind gust at 60 miles per hour. Windows were blown over north of Plymouth. So numerous severe weather reports there in the Twin Cities area, and we have more to come today in terms of the severe weather threat. So let's get you out there and talk about our torque hunt for Kansas City. It's a 3 today. We could see damaging winds, hail, and certainly very gusty conditions producing lots of lightning. Here's our thunderstorm forecast for today. We're looking at western Texas all the way up through Kansas, stretching all the way through Missouri, northern Missouri, Iowa, even Chicago over toward Cleveland. That's where we could see, again, the possibility of some isolated tornadoes, hail and damaging winds throughout the day today. We have a setup that is actually going to be in place for most of the week, unfortunately. 3 is your torque hunt for southeast Nebraska, eastern New Mexico, and western Texas, a torque hunt of 3 as well. So about a 30% chance of a tornado within a 50-mile radius. That's what we're dealing with today in terms of the severe weather, but I know there's a lot more to come behind this as well. Here's why we have this stalling front. So we have warm, moist air coming up, excuse me, from the south. This cold front has already pushed through, but what's left of it here, the tail end of it, all just going to sit there across middle America for most of the week. We could see storms firing up pretty much any day of the week along this boundary. We also have an upper level jet. Our jet has retreated extremely far north, so we're going to get a little energy coming out of that as well. It could help to trigger those storms. We're also looking at the possibility of some flooding in places like New Mexico and western Texas. So we'll keep an eye on that for you, Chris.
And Julie, we're going to keep an eye on what's happening in Oklahoma City over the coming days as well, because there will be a chance for some storms really picking up by midweek. You can see here it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday. There's a threat for some thunderstorms for you in Oklahoma City. So we are watching, as Julie mentioned, these ingredients coming together. Looking ahead now to tomorrow, spotty damaging winds, hail, a possibility with the storms that will develop throughout parts of West Texas, including the Panhandle, parts of New Mexico. This area right here in red, that's the greatest threat, the biggest threat for some of the strongest storms. But anywhere in orange, there's that chance for some thunderstorms, and of course lightning an issue with that, and possibly some heavy rain. West Texas, the torque on of a 3 for you. Again, within 50 miles of any point within West Texas, there's a 30% chance of a tornado for tomorrow. And this is a look at that upper level disturbance. It's really going to kind of be like the instigator for the severe weather that we're going to watch here with that moisture in place. Another one of the ingredients that goes into it, and we're going to watch that dry line also take shape. And as that moves across, we're going to see some of those thunderstorms. Again, parts of New Mexico into Texas. Now we're looking at Wednesday. You can see that chance for some rain going all the way up into the northern plains from Texas. In fact, right along the Mexican border, all the way up through Thursday. That chance for some storms lingering around. So we are going to watch this threat develop and then hang around for a while. Let's go ahead right now and take a closer look at your forecast again for Wednesday, when there will be a chance also for a tornado within this area. So keep an eye, we had a little bit of a break. Keep an eye on the plans for the threat of some strong storms developing this week, including Wednesday.
All right, Chris, ahead on Weather Center Live, parts of the Atlantic coast will be a risky place to swim this week. We're talking rip currents when we come back.
Water. We take our showers with it. We make our coffee with it. But we rarely tap its true potential and just let it be itself. Flowing freely into clean lakes, clear streams, and along more freshwater coastline than any other state in the country. Come realize water's true potential. Dive in to the waters of pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
Johnny, even after careers like ours, we're still going strong.
What's your secret, Richard?
Blue Emu.
Oh, I've used Blue Emu for over 10 years. I love their odor-free Blue Emu Continuous Pain Relief Spray.
Me too. It's got an active ingredient to relieve my muscle aches and joint pains.
And soothing emu oil for those hard-to-reach places.
I knew you was a winner.
I'm glad we had this talk.
Blue Emu, it works fast.
And you won't stink.
Every inch, every minute, every second, we chip away at finding inspiration to reimagine luxury, making the colors of earth and sunset skies into rich interior accents, or putting the beauty of a forest in the palm of your hands. It will take you to another place, wherever you happen to be. Made with pride, crafted with passion. This is the 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It is the best of what we're made of.
Mr. Gray will see you now. Whatever happened to flowers and chocolates? You said you didn't do romance.
That's what you do to me.
50 Shades of Grey, unrated. The perfect gift on Blu-ray this Friday.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, cloudy and windy, high 79. Winds east-northeast at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, late-night thunderstorms, low 73. Chance of rain, 40%. Tuesday, thunderstorms, high 77. Chance of rain, 90%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It was right on top of us, and then it hit. And we took it to the edge, didn't give up.
To you, they're more than just a pet, so protect them with Canine Advantix 2. Its broad-spectrum protection kills fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes, too. Canine Advantix 2, for the love of dog.
Doug, we have the results. But first, we have a very special guest. Come on out, Flo! You have anything to say to Flo?
Nah, just let the results do the talking.
He could do that. We show our Progressive Direct rate and the rates of our competitors, even if Progressive isn't the lowest.
It looks like Progressive is not the lowest. When we return, we'll find out whether Doug is the father. Wait, what?
This allergy season, will you be a sound sleeper or a mouth breather? We'll put on a Breathe Right strip and instantly open your nose up to 38% more than allergy medicines alone, so you can breathe and sleep. Shut your mouth and sleep right. Breathe Right.
The amazing, delicious cinnamon and sugar taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch and cold milk. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Crave those crazy squares.
Nexium 24-hour. It's the purple pill. The #1 prescribed acid-blocking brand. Available without a prescription for frequent heartburn. Get complete protection. Nexium Level Protection.
All right, this is Weather Center Live, and heads up on the East Coast, an area to watch for the possibility of some tropical development.
Pretty early for that, isn't it? But yes, we do have the possibility. What we have here is some disturbed weather right now. It is just over Cuba, kind of south of the Bahamas, but by about midweek, right along the Bahamas, maybe a little bit north.
And we do have a big question mark here, because whatever does develop, the question is, where's it going to go? How long is it going to linger there? Because this could be a situation where there's a low pressure that hangs off the southeast coast for some days.
Right, and so we're talking about obviously some impacts to the Florida coast up through the Carolinas, possibly some rough surf and, you know, heavy rain, that kind of tropical stuff we don't usually see so much in May.
You did mention that it's early, about a month ahead of the official start to the Atlantic hurricane season, but it has happened in the past. And Alberto in 2012, you can see the track of it right there, and then Beryl as well in 2012.
All right, so we're going to keep you up to date on that. Regardless, there will be the threat for rip currents.
That's right, along with some high surf possible, we know, across Florida, the eastern beaches as early as today, from Stewart all the way up to Daytona Beach.
That's right. Anyone going for a swim is urged to do so only where there are lifeguards. Nick Walker has what to do if you get caught in one.
It's hard to beat a relaxing sunny day at the beach, but what's going on in our tropical oceans could mean trouble for those looking forward to playing in the surf.
Every time we have a tropical system out there and we get onshore winds, we have risk of rip currents. Rip currents are channels of water that move out into the ocean. When you're caught in a rip current, it's like being on a treadmill. You just have no forward movement.
You'll know you're in trouble when you feel the ocean pulling you out, or when the beach gets farther away, even when you're swimming toward it. If you're caught in a rip current, try to remain calm and keep your feet near the sea floor. Avoid flailing around. It could make the situation even worse. Call as loudly as possible for help to come from shore, and keep calling out. Don't struggle against the current. You'll just get tired and weak. Instead, swim parallel to the shore. You'll eventually swim out of the rip current and back to the beach. Ironically, an absence of breaking ocean waves or water that looks calm may actually be a danger sign, because the current might be flowing out to sea rather than toward shore. So watch for warning signs and flags, obey the lifeguards, and enjoy the ocean from a distance. I'm meteorologist Nick Walker.
And you know, Chris, about 150 people die each year in rip currents, so this is nothing to mess around with. We want to explain to you how they work. Nick was saying how you get out of them, but basically you have the waves, they're coming over the sandbar. That's that inbound current coming into shore, and it's often very hard to detect this.
And then it's that water going away from shore. You see that current going out, and oftentimes you can spot them because there's a little break in the waves themselves. It kind of has a little muddled look to it. They're not the classic. Yeah, it's not that classic wave look.
Exactly.
So there's some disturbed waves with that water going out.
All right, and so you have all of that force, that forcing, and that is going to pull you offshore if you are in the middle of this. So obviously to escape, you're going to want to swim parallel to the shore and not try to swim along with the current itself, because that's just going to pull you out farther.
And that's the thing too, is try to stay calm.
Right.
It's the hardest thing too when you have that feeling of helplessness. Try to stay calm and swim out of the current so you can swim back to shore.
Very easy to panic. So certainly we could see a lot of this over the next several days this week all along the East Coast. So definitely be advised. It's probably best to stay out of the water.
And a little bit of a preview, if you will, on summer coming to the Northeast.
That sounds good.
In fact, we're watching those temperatures in Boston 1 degree away from something you have not felt in Boston in 6 months.
I think it starts with a 7.
Almost a 70.
Oh, this audit will take days. What a headache.
Actually, I don't have a headache anymore. Excedrin really does work fast.
In fact, for some, relief starts in just 15 minutes. Excedrin.
Wow, that was fast.
When it comes to good nutrition, I'm no expert. That would be my daughter.
Hi, Dad.
She's a dietitian. And back when I wasn't eating right, she got me drinking Boost. It's got a great taste, and it helps give me the nutrition I was missing, helping me stay more like me.
Boost Complete Nutritional Drink has 26 essential vitamins and minerals, including calcium and vitamin D to support strong bones, and 10 grams of protein to help maintain muscle, all with a delicious taste.
Grandpa!
Stay strong, stay active with Boost.
We don't just certify our pre-owned vehicles. We inspect, analyze, and recondition each one until it's nothing short of a genuine certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz for the next new owner. Hurry into your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer during the certified pre-owned sales event now through June 1st for exceptional offers.
Luck like this
feel like this, look like this, feel like this. With DreamWalk insoles, turn shoes that can be a pain into comfortable ones. Their soft cushioning support means you can look like this and feel like this. DreamWalk.
I'm Sam. Jim's here as well this morning.
We're all in this together.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
that was good.
And if you're watching AMHQ, then you know we got you up and out this morning. We love to see your pictures. All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well.
You totaled your brand new car. Nobody's hurt, but there will still be pain. It comes when your insurance company says they'll only pay 3/4 of what it takes to replace it. What are you supposed to do? Drive 3/4 of a car? Now, if you had Liberty Mutual new car replacement, you'd get your whole car back. I guess they don't want you driving around on 3 wheels. Smart.
New car replacement is just one of the features that comes standard with a base Liberty Mutual policy. And for drivers with accident forgiveness, rates won't go up due to your first accident. Learn more by calling 1-888-380-5644. Switch to Liberty Mutual and you could save up to $423. For a free quote today, call Liberty Mutual Insurance at 1-888-380-5644. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
It was right on top of us, and then it hit. And we took it to the edge, didn't give up.
Stay tuned for your local on the 8s, brought to you by Allstate. Are you in good hands?
Remember when you said men are superior drivers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then how'd I get this?
Allstate Safe Driving Bonus Check.
Who's that?
So weird, right? My agent Tom said.
Only Allstate sends you a bonus check for every 6 months you're accident-free.
But I'm a woman. Maybe it's a misprint. Does it look like a misprint?
Okay, let's try. Silence. Ask an Allstate agent about the Safe Driving Bonus Check. Are you in good hands?
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, cloudy and windy, high 79. Winds east-northeast at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, late-night thunderstorms, low 73. Chance of rain, 40%. Tuesday, thunderstorms, high 77. Chance of rain, 90%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to the Weather Channel, everyone. You know, we are watching this area of disturbed weather. It is still south of the Bahamas, but it's interesting. The National Hurricane Center also keeping an eye on this one. And yes, we are in the month of May. So an area of low pressure certainly expected to form a little north of the Bahamas by about Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. After that, it is still a little questionable on what form it takes and what exactly it does. We are expecting, though, it to generally move to the north, so it could be a little closer to shore, could be a little farther away from shore. Either way, we are likely going to see some rip currents and high surf possible all the way from Miami up into North Carolina. So we are looking at the possibility of that elevated surf, and the closer this gets to shore, we could see also some gusty conditions and heavy rain. We're going to keep tracking this one. It's pretty interesting, Chris.
And you know what else is pretty interesting? The fact that Boston has not seen 70 in a while. We're going to take a look at that in a moment. But first, we're going to take a look at some of the cities that we're watching for some warmer weather on the way. Live look right now. Pittsburgh, New York City, and Atlanta. Pittsburgh just below 70, 67 right now. We are in the 70s in New York City. Atlanta at 71. But for you in Boston, we're tracking it for you because it has been a while. Here's a live look right now at Boston, 69 degrees, almost there. It is before the noon hour, so you can bet we will be into the 70s. We're going to get closer and closer to 70s. In fact, could be closer to 80 degrees by the time we finish the day today. So upper 70s expected for Boston. The last 70-degree day or warmer was just before Halloween, 2014. So far this year, no 70s yet for Boston. Your average high this time of year in the lower 60s. And this is a look at Boston's streaks as far as the days, the longest periods going without a 70-degree reading on the thermometer. 1967 was 203 days. This year, 187 days. And that should be coming to an end today, because this is the forecast for Boston. Plenty of sunshine, mid-70s for most of the days, but it looks like we're going to peak right around 79 degrees for Boston. That would be 17 degrees warmer than average for you in Boston. And then for tomorrow, readings still in the 60s and the 70s, even some 80s starting to show up on the map. Getting to Washington, D.C., 82, Cincinnati. Temperatures will be 12 degrees warmer than average by Wednesday, 84 degrees. St. Louis getting closer to 90. So we're dealing with some heat now throughout parts of the Ohio Valley into the Northeast. This is Boston's forecast. Again, close, Julie, to 80 degrees today, and then staying for highs anyways in the 70s for the week.
That is good to hear. All right, thank you, Chris. Well, a wildfire burning right now in Pemberton, New Jersey. The Pemberton Township Volunteer Fire Department has been working overnight and through the morning, clearing brush and trying to get this fire out. Smoke is drifting into nearby neighborhoods, but thankfully, this wildfire is not a threat to homes or property in Pemberton Township. We do have red flag warnings in effect. They go from 1 to 8 o'clock this evening. All of New Jersey and eastern Pennsylvania included, as well as portions of New York. So let's take a look at those warnings right now. We're dealing with very low relative humidities here. Also gusty winds expected. So those winds could be anywhere from 10 to 15 in places like Atlantic City. Look at Buffalo, 25 to 30. Syracuse looking at 15 to 20 mile per hour winds for you. So you combine that with those low relative humidities, not going to take a lot to spark some more wildfires, and you'll see these winds increase throughout the day as well. And I mentioned those relative humidities, they are extremely low. Look at that, down in the 30s here in New York City and Syracuse, pretty much everywhere you look on the map, and they are going down throughout the day. So we're going to keep an eye on the fire situation for you. Chris?
Also keeping an eye on the Twin Cities, Julie, pelted by hail and thunderstorms. And it's just the start of a multi-day severe storm threat that we're following from West Texas to Ohio. We'll take a look at who will see the hail, the damaging wind, and the flooding, along with the chance for tornadoes.
Jackie's heart attack didn't come with a warning. Today, her doctor has her on a Bayer aspirin regimen to help reduce the risk of another one. If you've had a heart attack, be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
Listen up. I'm reworking the menu. Veggies, you're cool. Mayo, corn dogs, you are so out of here.
The complete balanced nutrition of great tasting Ensure, with 9 grams of protein and 26 vitamins and minerals.
And now, with twice as much vitamin D, which up to 90% of people don't get enough of.
Oh, the sunshine vitamin.
Ensure now has 2 times more vitamin D to support strong bones. Ensure, take life in.
Let's do this. We start here, talk to her, pick up some of that, a few of those, okay, a lot of those. Then dirt, plants, water, just a little time, and then boom. Spring. Big time. Let's do this. Plant color everywhere. 1 quart Vigoril annuals now 4 for just $10. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Deep in the dark, untouched recesses of your engine is power you never knew it could produce. And vapor can set it free. New Stable 360 Performance unleashes that exclusive vapor technology that rises above the fuel line to protect your engine where other additives can't. To help keep your engine running cleaner, leaner, smoother, and stronger than ever. The next level of performance is in the vapor. Stable 360 Performance.
I take pride in setting OTC each morning for my frequent heartburn. Because it gives me 0 heartburn.
Prilosec OTC, the #1 doctor-recommended frequent heartburn medicine for 9 straight years. 1 pill each morning, 24 hours, 0 heartburn.
Are you missing out on life because you're putting off neck or back surgery? Call Laser Spine Institute, the leader in minimally invasive spine surgery, to learn how a less than 1-inch incision can have you up and walking within a few hours of surgery, free from chronic back pain, and with no hospital stay and no lengthy recovery. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with spinal stenosis, bulging or herniated disc, sciatica, or other chronic conditions, call today for your MRI review.
There were times my boss would send me home because I was in excruciating pain. Going to Laser Spine Institute, I go in, I have the procedure, and walk out a changed person, good to go back to work. I can't tell you how much happier I am. It's changed my life completely.
If you've been told you might need neck or back surgery, call 1-855-450-BACK for your MRI review.
Laser Spine Institute, a less than 1-inch incision, a lifetime of standing tall.
In a matter of seconds, your life can change.
The Weather Channel's most watched original program is back.
Things were just going everywhere, and then it was silent.
This was it.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, cloudy and windy, high 79. Winds east-northeast at 20 to 30. Tonight, late-night thunderstorms, low 73. Chance of rain, 40%. Tuesday, thunderstorms, high 77. Chance of rain, 90%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It was right on top of us. And then it hit. And we took it to the edge. Didn't give up.
This is Weather Center Live, and this is a time-lapse view of some of the storms that were moving through Nebraska last night, about 20 miles outside of Omaha. Cool scene here, getting all of these different snapshots of the lightning. A lot of lightning and a lot of rain with these storms.
Yeah, they brought frequent lightning. Radar estimates over an inch of rain from this storm, and we are tracking the potential for more thunderstorms here today. Thanks so much for staying with us here on Weather Center Live. I'm Julie Martin.
And I'm meteorologist Chris Warren. A few things that we are watching. The potential of something developing off the southeast coast, the possibility of something tropical perhaps. Also, some places seeing 70 degrees on the thermometer for the first time since October.
And then we have the severe weather once again. Welcome to May, right? Look at the wild scenes across Minneapolis and St. Paul on Sunday. Large hail, heavy rain, and 60-mile-per-hour gusts slammed the Twin Cities. Windows were blown out, shingles torn off a roof near Hammond, Minnesota, and a flagpole was snapped just across the border in Hudson, Wisconsin. So we are looking at the possibility of more severe weather, not only today, but really throughout the week. We have the setup in place today. Chicago, you could be in line for some scattered strong storms. We're looking at a timeline in general from about noon to 4. That's where we could see those hit or miss storms. We're talking about lightning, hail, and damaging winds. Can't rule out isolated tornadoes, although the threat here not so high right now. Here's a look at the thunderstorm forecast for today, stretching all the way from West Texas up through Missouri, Iowa, Chicago, even all the way over to Cleveland. You could get a few pretty strong storms today as well. In terms of your Torcon indexes, we have a 3 here for southeast Nebraska, so about a 30% chance of a tornado there. Also for eastern New Mexico and western Texas, it's a 3 for you as well throughout the day today. And this will be a multi-day event. We're taking a look now at, we have this setup of warm, moist southerly flow. We have a cold front that's already pushed through a lot of the Midwest here, but this is what's left of it, and it is stalling out here. So we could certainly see storms firing up pretty much all along this front throughout the week. Our jet is also really far to the north. It has retreated there, so we have some energy likely coming out of this as well that will help to trigger those storms. So all of the ingredients really coming together. We also have the possibility of some flooding, not only here in New Mexico and portions of western Texas where we have the flood alerts today, but we'll have to watch places like Oklahoma by about midweek for flooding as well, as we do think there could be quite a bit of rain that will be just coming over the same exact areas again and again. Kansas City, your Torcon today is also a 3. We're looking at large hail, damaging winds, and the chance for a tornado coming into Kansas City. We'll keep you updated on all the watches and warnings. And Chris, I know you're talking a little bit more about the days and days of severe we're expecting.
And that's the thing, Julie, is it's going to be day after day and over some of the same areas. This is a look at Minneapolis, doing pretty good the next couple of days as far as not seeing that threat really materialize until the middle of the week for you in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Chance for some storms, and temperatures also going to be a little bit warmer with 80 degrees the daytime high here. And we are going to be seeing that chance for storms again on Thursday in Minneapolis. This is that threat looking ahead now to tomorrow throughout parts of Texas, from East Texas all the way over to West Texas, including the Panhandle. This red area right here, this is where there's the greatest threat for some of the strongest storms that will develop here, and there is a tornado threat as well. So tomorrow, within this red shaded area in West Texas, there's a 30% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of any point in West Texas. There's a 30%. So looking now into Thursday, so the next few days, the way things are setting up with this upper level disturbance, this moisture in place, the ingredients coming together for the chance of some storms with that dry line here, we're going to watch move across Texas, through parts of Texas, and that's going to help initiate some of the storms. We're also watching the threat for some storms from Nebraska all the way over to parts of Pennsylvania, parts of upstate New York as well. And then on Wednesday, middle part of the week, still in the Midwest, in the plains, chance for some showers, chance for some lightning associated with that, so some thunderstorms a possibility throughout parts of the plains and into the upper Midwest here with those scattered storms. And Julie was talking about some of that heavy rain. There will be some areas potentially getting 3 to 5 inches of rain. So flooding will be a concern with some of these storms that'll happen throughout the week. And you can see here Wednesday, that chance for some storms, again, from Nebraska all the way down to the Mexican border through a huge portion of Texas. So we're looking at day after day in many locations with the threat for some strong storms. And already for the middle of the week, Wednesday, Torcon have a 4 out for some spots and still a 3 throughout parts of Oklahoma and throughout parts of central Texas. So we're going to be dealing with that threat for some strong storms, including, guys, tornadoes. Julie?
All right, thanks, Chris. I'm here now with hurricane specialist Michael Lowry. And Michael, we're also looking at potential development in the Atlantic, and I know it's a little, at least have a low pressure to deal with.
Yeah, we're about 3 or 4 weeks from the official start of the season, but we were saying this earlier, about once every 3 years, we do get some sort of tropical or subtropical system before the official start of the season. If we were to get something this week, Julie, its name would be Anna. And normally we don't show you this list until we get to the season, but this is the list of names for this hurricane season. But we still have a little ways to go before we get to Anna. Right now, it's just an area of clouds and thunderstorms down here across parts of Cuba and into the Florida Straits.
Okay, and so we have it sort of starting to get its act together. I saw that the National Hurricane Center is watching this, and they do give it about a 30% chance of some kind of development by about midweek.
Yeah, and we don't think, if there's going to be development with this, we don't think it's going to happen until the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday time frame. So nothing in the immediate future. But in the short term, at least, it's going to bring an enhanced risk of rip currents to Florida because of that strong easterly flow there along the coast. And then once it gets up off the southeast U.S., you can see how those lines of equal pressure get a little tighter together. That's when we're looking for some sort of development. I think at the end of the day, we're going to get an area of low pressure. Now, whether or not it's tropical or subtropical, we use these terms as meteorologists. Practically speaking, though, to folks there, I don't think it's really going to matter. They're going to get some sort of impacts. I'm using the 3 R's, the rainfall, the rough seas, the rough surf, and the rip currents.
And it's interesting, the models do differ a little bit on this. I noticed the GFS, the American model, is taking it a little bit closer to shore at this point. The European still keeping it out a bit, but it's starting to edge a little bit closer.
It is, and it has been that way. That's been the trend, is bringing it it back toward the coast, and a lot of the reason for that is what's happening at the mid and upper part of the atmosphere. Here's what that jet stream is going to look like at the middle part of the week. This is the wind flow at about 30,000 feet up where the jet airplanes fly. You can see there's a dip here in the subtropical jet, but it splits off here, and that's going to help to fuel off, I think, additional showers and thunderstorms. This sort of negative, we call this a negative tilt to the trough here. That's going to create additional instability for those thunderstorms at the upper part of the atmosphere, pumping up a lot of that moisture and heat that's down there near the surface of the ocean. There's a lot of warmth there. In fact, the water temperatures are above normal, what we would typically expect, and it's going to be festering there. It's going to be there for several days over the warmest part, really, of the ocean there in the Western Atlantic over what we call the Gulf Stream.
Which would make it which would possibly gain more strength and get more organized.
Yeah, the longer it sits there, the better the chance it has of becoming a tropical system. The biggest difference between a tropical system and what we call a hybrid or a subtropical system, Julie, is that the wind field in a subtropical system is more spread out, so the impacts will be over a greater area.
Okay, it's going to be interesting to watch this. Either way, rip currents will be a big issue, though, something we have to watch. Just stay out of the water.
Yes.
Best advice. All right, Chris, over to you.
A boat race quickly turns to tragedy in Alabama, and the question, did sailors get enough of a warning before the rough seas? A Weather Channel investigation this morning into the deadly regatta. What went wrong, and could it have been avoided?
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, cloudy and windy, high 79. Winds east-northeast at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, late-night thunderstorms, low 73. Chance of rain, 40%. Tuesday, thunderstorms, high 77. Chance of rain, 90%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Your relationship with your dog is pure. It's innocent. It's work, but it's perfect. You wouldn't trade it for the world. So protect your dog with Trifexis. Trifexis is the monthly beef-flavored tablet that prevents heartworm disease, kills fleas, and prevents infestations, and treats and controls hook, round, and whipworm infections. Treatment with fewer than 3 monthly doses after exposure to mosquitoes may not provide complete heartworm prevention. The most common adverse reactions were vomiting, depression, and itching. Serious adverse reactions have been reported following concurrent extra-label use of ivermectin with spinosad, one of the components of Trifexis. Prior to administration, dogs should be tested for existing heartworm infection. You'll take it all, the good and the bad, because that's what makes your relationship irreplaceable. Protect your dog all year long with the 3-in-1 power of Trifexis, available by prescription only. Talk to your veterinarian about how to protect every second you share together.
When you're waiting for summer, every second feels like an eternity. So when it finally arrives, make every second count on a Sea-Doo watercraft. With 14 models to choose from and starting at just $49.99, there's a Sea-Doo that's right for you. At the Countdown to Summer sales event, get up to a 5-year warranty or save up to $1,000. But hurry, this offer ends May 31st. Go to seadoo.com or your local dealer for details.
New Flonase Allergy Relief Nasal Spray outperforms a leading allergy pill. Most allergy pills only control one substance. Flonase controls 6. So go ahead, inhale life. New Flonase. 6 is greater than 1. This changes everything.
Unbelievable. Toenail fungus? Seriously?
Smash it with Jublia. Jublia is a prescription medicine proven to treat toenail fungus. Use Jublia as instructed by your doctor.
Look at the footwork.
Most common side effects include ingrown toenail, application site redness, itching, swelling, burning or stinging, blisters, and pain. Smash it!
Make the call and ask your doctor if Jublia is right for you.
New larger size, now available.
pain from your day can haunt you at night. Don't let it. Advil PM gives you the healing sleep you need, helping you fall asleep and stay asleep so your body can heal as you rest. Advil PM for a healing night's sleep.
Look like this, feel like this. Look like this, feel like this. With Dreamwalk insoles, turn shoes that can be a pain into comfortable ones. Their soft cushioning support means you can look like this and feel like this. Dreamwalk.
Something about Cinco de Mayo and half-price drinks that puts me in the mood to party.
Yeah, you're Mr. Party?
Yeah, I'm in the VIP section. What do you think the black nylon rope is for?
Seatbelt.
What a dork.
Half-price drinks all day Tuesday, May 5th. This is How You Sonic.
As the host of a popular home improvement show, I know a lot about finding a great contractor for home repairs and improvement projects. Now there's HomeAdvisor.com, a free service that matches your project to top local service professionals.
We didn't have to do any work other than say what we needed.
Just 1, 2, 3, I found my guy and everything was smooth.
And it's always free to use.
We've had nothing but fabulous every single time.
Go to HomeAdvisor.com now to get started on your next project.
Home Advisor. It's the 1-800-PET-MEDS Calling All Pets sweepstakes and contest, where your dog or cat could be in our next TV commercial. To enter, just go to our website and post your pet photo. While you're there, get the same flea, tick, and heartworm medications as your vet, but for up to 50% less, with fast, free shipping and your satisfaction guaranteed. It's your pet's chance to be on TV. So visit 1-800-PETMEDS.com today.
This is Weather Center Live, and this is an area that we're watching for the possibility of some development. We are seeing some thunderstorms right now over parts of Cuba, but eventually the atmosphere, everything's going to work out that something, there's still a little unknown because we're still a few days away, but there could be a tropical entity, some sort of a storm off the southeast coast, and we're keeping a close eye on that here in the Weather Channel.
Some rough surf and who knows, maybe some gusty winds and rain. All right. Now to a Weather Channel investigation. 9 days after the Dauphin Island regatta disaster in Alabama, 6 sailors all confirmed dead after a storm with strong winds swept across the race.
Now questions remain if this could have been prevented. Dave Malkoff investigates if there was enough warning to keep sailors safe.
It was a nightmare storm in broad daylight.
Well, clearly from the start of the day, there was a risk of severe weather.
And by the middle of the day, the Coast Guard was pulling some 40 people from the water. 6 of those people, out for a day of boating, never made it back to safe harbor.
We felt each and every prayer, and we know that God's in control, and we're drawing on His strength.
Grief is heavy in Mobile Bay. Many of the boats out that day were part of the Dauphin Island race, organized by the Fairhope Yacht Club.
Holy cow.
Michael Connell is one of those racers. His cruising boat almost capsized in near hurricane-force winds. Seawater filled his cabin and snapped his main halyard.
This is a very heavy rope to snap like that.
Yeah, like a cheap rubber band.
I did talk to the Commodore, kind of like the general manager of the yacht club. He didn't want to go on camera, but he did lay out this timeline for me, saying the night before they did have a discussion about weather, but no discussion about canceling the race. Although in the morning, an erroneous report went out on the website saying the race was canceled. That was a miscommunication. They delayed the race for about an hour. So because of that delay, they actually had some of the racers jump the gun and they had to pull them back to the starting line. Now, once everything was said and done, it was about 11 o'clock in the morning before anyone started the race.
In fact, we can time out these storms. It looks
Just 1 hour later, Weather Channel meteorologist Mark Elliott was on the air forecasting the storm as it pushed towards the boaters in Mobile, Alabama.
Getting towards Mobile by 3 or 3:30.
By the time Mike's weather radio was blaring its 3rd warning of the day, it was already too late.
The boat was over, like if this is level, it was over like that.
You know, it was clear as day that was coming.
This wasn't just a thunderstorm. It was something more intense called a derecho.
You cannot sail in a derecho. You cannot sail in a severe thunderstorm.
Now, the U.S. Coast Guard is asking questions. We've obtained an official questionnaire for boaters. Did you or anyone in your vessel hear weather alerts?
By the time that regatta started, they were already in a severe thunderstorm watch.
Was there any discussion to call off the race at the beginning of the day?
No. Not to my knowledge.
As of right now, sources at the Alabama law enforcement agency known as ALEA tell us they are investigating this as 8 separate accidents. Under state law, each skipper is responsible for his own crew's safety. Now, clearly, not all the boats out there in the storm were racing, but 119 signed up, and ALEA sources confirm all 6 souls lost that day were part of that Dolphin Island race.
It's horrible now. Only thing that counts is your crew's okay.
It's a tough man versus nature story, and everybody is touched by the souls lost here on Mobile Bay. I'm Dave Malkoff, the Weather Channel.
It is sad, and to see the power of the storm, too, to be able to snap a line like that.
That was just such an intense storm, and the fact that they started and delayed the race, and it seems like the timing just was very unfortunate for everybody out there. So our thoughts go out to all of them. Well, Joplin, Missouri, Moore, Oklahoma, Greensburg, Kansas, those are names to remember.
Yeah, and no strangers to tornadoes in the month of May. Communities ripped apart with some of the most destructive tornadoes on record. When we come back, we explain why May is such a big month for tornadoes.
Introducing new Country Time Lemonade Starter with real lemon juice. A fresh new way to make country time.
Furnishing your home is a little bit like cooking. Everyone has their own style. My next door neighbor, for instance, she likes things spicy. My best friend, she's into natural organic greens. And Lazy Boy makes all of it. Really. As in Lazy Boy recliner, Lazy Boy. Everything. But the food. I made the food. It tastes pretty good.
Come in for amazing savings. Quality that lasts. Savings that won't.
Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
We know you can't control the weather. That's looking good. So we build things to harness it.
That's awesome. They hit the water, game on.
Up here in Southeast Alaska, the Coast Guard's last line of defense.
This is about how far you can push yourself.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, cloudy and windy, high 79. Winds east-northeast at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, late-night thunderstorms, low 73. Chance of rain, 40%. Tuesday, thunderstorms, high 77. Chance of rain, 90%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Hurry! There's a hot offer for heartburn sufferers. Now try Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com. Hurry! It's free this week only. No pill relieves heartburn faster. Get Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com.
Doers. They don't worry if something's possible. They just do it. At Sears Optical, we're committed to bringing them eyewear that works as hard as they do. Right now, save up to $200 on eyeglasses. Quality eyewear for doers. Sears Optical.
Jackie's heart attack didn't come with a warning. Today, her doctor has her on a Bayer aspirin regimen to help reduce the risk of another one. If you've had a heart attack, be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
You could sit at your computer and read all about zero-turn mowers. Click, scroll, tweet, or you could just sit on a John Deere Z435 Easy Track and feel its power. You'll know it'll get the job done fast. When it's time to pick a mower, you've got to get on one. Visit your local John Deere dealer for a test drive today. Sign up to take your turn on an Easy Track zero-turn mower at your John Deere dealer and save $100 on your purchase.
Even after careers like ours, we're still going strong.
What's your secret, Richard?
Blue Emu Super Strength Cream.
It gets down deep to soothe my muscles and joints.
And it's odor-free. It works fast.
And you won't stink.
Our oath isn't an empty gesture. It's the heart and soul of Terminix Nation. The Terminix Ultimate Protection Guarantee. A vow that we kill every termite in your home. Not here, not now, not in my house. Terminix.
You drop 40 grand on a new set of wheels, then wham, a minivan T-bones you. Guess what? Your insurance company will only give you $37,000 to replace it. Depreciation, they claim. How can my car depreciate before its first oil change, you ask? Maybe the better question is, why do you have that insurance company?
With Liberty Mutual New Car Replacement, we'll replace the full value of your car. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Xfinity sales professionals are always on the go, meeting new people every day. They're helping families get the latest Xfinity products and services. And they're making customers happy. Jumpstart your career with the best sales training in the industry. Great benefits like discounts on your own Xfinity services and the potential for high earnings. Have what it takes? Apply today and see what doors open for you.
What does it mean to just believe? It means to live your life again, to be yourself again, to start recovering from your addiction with the help of people who have been there before and who know what you're going through. So if you're struggling with alcohol or drug addiction, don't wait another minute. Just believe. Call Just Believe Recovery today at 1-855-726-6112.
All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. We love to see your pictures. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well right here on AMHQ.
Oh my God.
This is what happened. Dust devil here in Palm Springs.
Look at that.
Wow. Look at that go. And you know what? This dust devil, it made a mess out of the vintage market there in downtown Palm Springs. Several vendors losing merchandise. There was damage to cars and some other property there. Witnesses said some pieces of debris stayed in the air for more than 5 minutes until the winds calmed down. It really tore apart that palm tree, didn't it?
Yeah, look at him. Amazing. You can see the circulation.
Look at that.
Wow,
you
that's
can. You
something
really
else.
can. In this, yeah.
All right, you're watching the Weather Channel. This is Severe Storm Central, where we are watching the threat of what will be multiple days of severe weather. And a lot of the same areas could have severe weather.
Here we go again, right? So let's take you in now to Indianapolis. This is one of the cities where we could be looking at the potential for some scattered strong storms later on. Right now we're at 67 degrees. It's a pretty picture out there right now, but as the afternoon goes on, things could get a little interesting.
Because you can see storms not too far away,
Yeah.
at least some of the rain, the yellow and the orange showing some of the heavier rain right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still off to your north a little bit, but certainly we could see these storms stretching all the way up into Fort Wayne, eventually all the way over to Cleveland probably by the end of the day.
Right, so we are going to be watching that threat for some storms again. You can see all the way over here, parts of New York and Pennsylvania, and you can stretch this all the way back or follow it all the way down into the southwest, including the Four Corners.
Right, so we're talking about damaging winds, hail, lightning, and isolated tornadoes. A torcon of 3 there in southeast Nebraska. We also have a 3 in eastern New Mexico and western Texas.
And this is just for today. And May is the time of year where we really see things start to ramp up. On average, for the past 20 years, when you average, you got 277 tornadoes in May.
We hope to stay away from that record of 542. All right, well, when you look at the numbers, this tornado season so far has been relatively quiet.
And no one knows really for sure exactly what the rest of the month is going to hold. May is, on average, the peak of the season for the central United States.
Joplin, Missouri. It is a devastating scene. It's just the images go on forever, it seems like.
Moore, Oklahoma.
A rumbling in the ground that just turns your stomach.
Greensburg, Kansas.
We're trying to find a jewelry box that she lost right now.
Not to forget Moore, Bridge Creek, El Reno, Parkersburg, and more. Recently, some of the strongest and most destructive tornadoes have occurred in May, and the largest outbreaks.
May is the prime time for tornadoes for the U.S., with 277 on average over the past 20 years when we've had a stable database.
But we know tornadoes can and do happen in any month. So why is May so special?
May becomes very active because it basically has all the ingredients for a large number of states. In particular, the dry line, that's the west edge of the Gulf of Mexico moisture, becomes very active where it clashes with drier southwest air coming in, and that collision fires up thunderstorms day after day. We have the instability. The warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico can spread all the way from the Gulf of Mexico to the Canadian border at times. And at the same time, we still have the jet stream that's active across the central part of the U.S., and that is fueling the potential for those thunderstorms to rotate, to become supercell thunderstorms that produce tornadoes.
And when we say threat, it's interesting to look at just what that means when it comes to tornadoes. In the month of May, the probability of a tornado is 5 to 6 times more in some states than that of the rest of the country.
All right, and we also have some possible tropical development to talk about. It's a mystery right now in the Atlantic, maybe some trouble up the East Coast.
All right, so Miami, Myrtle Beach, Cape Hatteras, heads up. We're watching something that could be developing in the coming days. Our experts are going to weigh in.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, cloudy and windy, high 79. Winds east-northeast at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, late night thunderstorms, low 73. Chance of rain, 40%. Tuesday, thunderstorms, high 77. Chance of rain, 90%. Here's our 7-day outlook.